My brother's wife banned me from their housewarming party, even though they had lived with me for 6 months. So I pulled out some papers and within minutes the party was over. I did something, and I need to know if it was wrong because I'm receiving a lot of hatred from my family for it. But honestly, I don't think I did something so terrible. To give you some context, I interrupted the housewarming party of my brother a few days ago. Believe me, I had my reasons. I wasn't invited to the event, and I found that very insulting because I let my brother and his wife stay with me for 6 months 2 years ago. I'm 32 years old, my brother is 30, and my sister-in-law is 29. I'll call my brother Yo, and my sister-in-law Emma. Yo and I used to be very close, he always came to me for everything, and I also had a close relationship with him. I still love my brother, that's for sure, otherwise, I wouldn't even be considering apologizing for everything that happened. But honestly, I didn't like Emma. It's not like I never tried to like her. I really made a lot of effort to try and like her, but it was impossible. She was a bit too pretentious for my taste. I really don't like people like that, and she is the kind of person who always belittles others when their opinions don't align with hers. I find that very annoying because I believe we are all different, and we should respect and celebrate that instead of putting people down who aren't exactly like us. Luckily for her, she and my brother are quite similar and have many common interests. But at least my brother didn't think it was necessary to put others down. For example, they both went to business school, where they met. They started dating when they were in college and got married at 24 after almost 5 years of dating. By the time of the wedding, I didn't like Emma anymore. They had been together for 5 years, and we had met many times, but every time we met, whether at birthdays, family events, or holidays, she always said something very annoying, and that bothered me. Most of the time, I was the target of her comments, which made everything worse. The truth is, I live a very unconventional lifestyle, and I know that many people might not like or approve of it, but that's fine. I don't need their approval to live the way I want and do the things I choose to do. For some reason, she thinks it's necessary to comment on the way I live every time we meet. To give you some context, I'm a voiceover artist, and it's not a very conventional job, I'll admit. But it pays very, very well, and I also get many offers and jobs. So, I'm happy with my life. So far, I've done audiobooks, commercials, and many other things. But Emma has it in her head that I don't have a very stable career and that if I lose my voice, it's over for me. I don't know why she thinks that, because I take great care of my voice. I think that's part of the job, it's my instrument. I think it's ridiculous that she says things like that about me in public, but she doesn't think there's anything inappropriate about commenting on my career. There's also the fact that I'm older than her, so I definitely have a little more experience than she does. She really doesn't know anything about the industry but thinks that since she graduated from a reputable business school, she has the right to comment on the way I live my life. I didn't exactly go to college, to be honest. I wouldn't say I'm a dropout, but I did go to community college. I wasn't really interested in it, and maybe I would have been a good student if I had studied, but I never bothered, and I was more interested in other things like sports, theater, and things like that. You get the idea. I wasn't particularly studious, and it showed in my grades. So, I ended up going to community college, and even there, my attendance was a bit low. But somehow, I managed to get through it. As soon as I finished high school, I started working anyway, so I didn't think college was important for me because I was already making my own money at that time. I was an intern at a company, but then I started auditioning for commercials, and someone on set really liked my voice, which helped me get my first job. Since then, I've been in this industry, and I'm pretty sure I know more about my career and the choices I'm making than she does, as she knows nothing about my line of work. She thinks I should go back to college, get a real degree from a real university, and then move on with my life so that at least I have something to fall back on if something goes wrong with my voice. And I probably would have appreciated the advice if it hadn't come from her. She always makes sure to tell me these things when we're with family and surrounded by other people, and she always says it in a very condescending tone that just screams superiority. Not only that, but there are a couple of other things that people might find unconventional about my lifestyle. For instance, I've made it clear that I'm never going to get married, and although my family has tried to make me at least consider that option, I've been very firm about it and told everyone that I'm not interested in marriage. I have nothing against people who get married, it's just not for me. But I do have a daughter, and it wasn't an accident or the result of any past relationship. I adopted her. She's 5 years old, and I adopted her 5 years ago when she was just a baby. I'm sure having a husband would have made things easier for me, but I don't want one, and I don't need one. I'm quite happy with my life, and I've had a few relationships, but none of them have been serious. I've made it very clear to everyone I've dated that I'm not interested in marriage. Some stayed, and some left, but my lifestyle isn't going to change because of any of those things, and I don't think motherhood has anything to do with being married or not. I wanted to be a mom, and I felt ready for it, so I adopted my daughter because her biological mother couldn't